Well, okay, the engine is out. The engine is split. Spent a lot of time cleaning it up, getting all the silicone off, and it's clean enough to put back together. I cleaned up all the screw holes, all the threads, and inside the case. So it's interesting. You'll notice that the crankshaft is still in, and the camshafts are still in place. I have to do some research and find out if these camshafts are stock or if they are high performance. With the money that this guy spent on this engine, it would not surprise me at all for these cams to be high performance cams, and I have to be aware of that in order to set the valve clearances. In the meantime, the crank is in here because it's pressed into the bearing on the other side, and I just don't feel like heating this whole thing up to 300 degrees and trying to get it out. So I also want to show you the reason the cams are still in place. The cams are still in place because these spiffy, high-performance aluminum cams are not threaded around here. So I can't use my special puller that screws onto those threads to pull these gears off. They're on, they were pressed on, and they can't be taken off. So I don't know how to take them off. There's no way to get a puller in here. There's just no clearance. So they're still on. I'm going to take this whole half engine and I'm going to drop it onto this case, with this case sitting up on blocks like so. That will also allow me to insert the rotary valve that goes inside this cam bushing for the relief of the crankshaft or crankcase pressure. There's a rotary valve that goes in there. That was missing. So when I put it back together, I will put that valve in. And dropping the heavy part onto the light part, which is backwards, and we'll see how it goes. It's going to be fun. Anyway, this bike has just been surprises after surprises after surprises. And I swore I'd never split another engine, and here I am, having split this one. So anyway, work on it again tomorrow, order parts, and then decide what to do next. Well, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to hoist up this heavy side of the motor up into the air using the sky hook. I'm going to then slowly lower it down onto this half of the motor so that I can put the valve in here, in that bushing, and we'll see how it goes. I have to do that because I can't remove the camshafts and put them in there first. This is going to be an adventure. I'll let you know. And here we are, lifted up, facing the lower case. And there's no way for me to video this drop on, but I'm going to drop it on now. The camshaft is lined up with the rotary valve, and everything's lubricated in there with initial lubrication, so it should be okay when I start it. And here we go. I'll let you know how it goes. Well, it worked perfectly. I dropped the heavy side onto the light side. The cam went into the cam bushings, both did. This one turns nicely and is turning the valve. I know that because I've got the sump breather here, and I literally gave a suck and a blow on the tube as I turned the gear in the cam, and I could feel the valve closing and opening as it should be. So that's installed. I've got the case bolts in gently. I'm going to take the engine and put it on my bench now and finish bolting all the halves together. And then I'll let it sit overnight, and coagulate. Well, the engine's back together, all bolted up nice and tight. Everything spins great. I'm going to let it sit overnight to let the gasket sealer that I put it together with, I like to say coagulate, but basically settle down, seal, whatever. Whenever I do a big thing like that, timing covers, tranny covers, primary covers, split engines, I always let them sit for 24 hours before I put oil in them. So this is going to sit until tomorrow, and we'll start the putting it back into the bike, and then we will dress it out and fill up the tranny. There you go.